Imagine being a version of a character that's so strong that even though he's not the strongest version of the character ever, characters in his universe still have to use a crazy amount of prep time and coordination to even get the jump on him. That's Superman of this universe. I'm talking about speedsters like Flash ganging up on him, throwing explosives and blowing him up. They had to drop all of this weight on him, 90 tons of planet Earth, Green Arrows teaming up on him, with freaking kryptonite to weaken him even further. The Atom had to team up on him. They had to mess with his equilibrium while he's also weakened at the same time. After all of this, Batman comes in with the kryptonite gauntlets to get the edge on him that way. I mean, you know he's strong if they got to do all this preparation, gangbanging him, teaming up on him to even get the edge on him. This is what happens when Batman and Superman meet without prep, without him knowing about kryptonite and such. Every attack is literally just useless. None of Batman's punches work. He's just outclassed in every way. With a multiverse this vast, there are a lot of Supermen, literally. I thought it would be cool to talk about Earth 31 Superman, one written by Frank Miller. And this is one of those few universes where he kind of got chemistry with Wonder Woman. Kind of like how Kingdom Come and New 52 had their little moments with each other. Yeah, him and Wonder Woman kind of like each other. She's Clark? Okay, I gotta admit, this version of Superman was macking. Like during his high school days, you see them macking with Lana. Is it me or DC animation isn't the same? This could be my personal opinion, but I think peak DC animation is when they actually use the artwork of the comic book they're trying to portray in the animation. Like some of my favorite DC animated movies of all time have artwork where they're basically mimicking the comic. Like you can't tell me these two don't look like the same, even though they're not. One's animated, one's from the comics. Love it. One of my favorite movies, The Dark Knight Returns animated movie just coincidentally had Superman in it. You ever wondered how strong this version of Superman is? The one Batman fought. I'm not going to be going over the movie feats. I mean, they practically have similar feats from the movie, but comics just have more, so I'll just have the comic feats. You know, let's get into it. I'll briefly mention it real quick. He's apparently the last son of Krypton. You already know this kind of stuff. His planet was going haywire, and Superman, as a baby Kal-El, got sent away. In this retelling, it's implied that he actually saw them send him away. Like the baby was literally awake seeing it all. That's kind of traumatic. That's when he got sent way across the galaxy in the universe in a spaceship. That's when he got woken up. It's when he arrived in Kansas. It's the same stuff you're used to. And I think you guys know it from here. With the Kents, he started developing powers, can do supernatural stuff. Just like other Supermen, his power source is the sun. When he's hurt or about to die, he can use the sun to heal himself or recharge himself. The solar energy, even if it's not necessarily directly the sun, the stuff that's in the plants he can heal himself with. Heat vision, he developed at a young age. One could say this is his form of blast power. He can hear stuff he's not supposed to hear with his super senses while he's in outer space. Talking about snooping, you literally can't hide nothing from him. He's got X-ray vision, can fly, super strength, absurd durability. Imagine trying to be sneaky to stab him, and you end up just breaking your pen. This Superman doesn't have the most screen time, but in this universe, there is an implication that he gets stronger as time goes by. They talk about how he gets more powerful with every year. As he gets older, like in this particular situation, he's considerably young, but he's still getting stronger. It's even stated here, I'm getting tougher. I'm getting stronger every day. There's implications that in this universe, there is some sort of Justice League. You see how they talk about it here? One idea, one cause, justice. And that's when the era begins, like implying that Justice League does exist in this universe. And Atlantis exists in this universe. I guess some people's gripes about this version of Superman is that they don't like that he's basically behind the government's thumb. Let's deep dive into his actual strength, shall we? It's worth noting, without even counting his strength, he got some type of understanding of fighting, even though he's way physically superior to these people, so fighting skills really don't matter when he's training with these beings. But I guess one could say he got some experience with these type of things. Knife fighting, hand-to-hand combat, training with actual fighters. Even though he's a Kryptonian with super strength and speed, there's implications he can fight. Even Batman acknowledges it. He's avoiding a punch. Batman talks about there's a certain geometry to physical violence. I like to think I mastered it. But he talks about how he turns out he's the student, like implying that this Superman could compete with Batman in pure skills, apparently? Or is there something that Superman knows that Batman doesn't? I mean, just look how he's lifting his car with laughable ease while running on water, guys. This is the kind of stuff you would expect from Superman. Having the raw grip to bend steel and just sling it to the side. Look what he does to these metal pipes, wrapping them around beings. And this occasion with Batman, of course, even though Batman has all this metal and armor on, he can just rip it off with his bare hands. You see him strong enough to lift up all of this right here? Yeah, even big stuff like this, his muscles are strong enough to support that weight and stop it with his amazing strength. You guys know that tanks can weigh 60 plus tons, 40 plus 50 plus tons. You get the idea. And I mean, just imagine being a version of Superman. that can't lift 60 plus ton tanks. This is easy. Even things apparently heavier than tanks, like a space shuttle, one can argue can weigh even 70 tons or more, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, just look at what he lifted. I know it doesn't look that impressive, hey, but they call it a space shuttle. Yeah, he has amazing strength no matter how you slice it. The Batmobile, which is basically like a tank too, we've seen Superman actually lift this crap up too and bend the metal of it. This durable tank-like structure. Yeah, this is basically like a tank. I mean, we're talking about full-blown trains that are literally about to run into innocent people, and he has the strength to just, you know, cave it in and stop it on the spot. He's literally more powerful than a locomotive. With all this strength, there's no wonder he can hit really hard. I mean, look what he does to the environment when he decides to strike. He can just kick the ground and cause all this damage. It's no surprise his punches can punch out tanks if you wish. His blast power, one could say his heat vision, blasted apart a jet. Like in this occasion, you can see him diving underwater and balls up his fist to punch with ferocious force. It would be ludicrous if you didn't believe he can punch down buildings after all this. Yeah, he kind of has a daughter. And there's also implications he's faster than the speed of light when it comes to flying fast, because his daughter Laura can fly pretty fast, faster than the speed of light. Like you can just tell on occasions like this when she flies ridiculous distances in like an extremely short amount of time, that kind of distance. I mean, we literally seen this Superman like literally sprint on his feet, like fast. I mean, it's obvious when you see jets like this, they can't outrun him. It's proven he can fly so fast. He can create his own sonic boom, proving he can go faster than the speed of sound. He can literally move too fast for humans to perceive him. I mean, you got cases like this that just shows clear evidence that he's fast as light or faster than the speed of light, how he flies through space. They literally go in detail about his speed, talking about space folds in upon itself and space explodes with heaven's light. There is light speed. So yeah, he can go faster than the speed of light. There's a few reasons on why Superman can hit hard. Yeah, his muscles are insane. He can lift a lot of weight. So of course he has super strength. That's partly the reason why he can hit hard. One could argue he doesn't even need that stuff to hit hard. He can just fly at you at crazy speed. I mean, you've got occasions where he literally can fly through space and can hit light speed. The fact that this Superman can even achieve light speed, imagine him flying at you, not holding back at light speed. With this kind of speed, his strikes would easily be able to devastate a city. Wouldn't you say that's light work? So that could be part of the reason why he can hit hard too. I mean, just from him making love with his sweetie Wonder Woman, they're like causing crazy collateral just from them macking. Like imagine him actually trying to punch you. Them needing to evacuate a 7.8 on the Richter scale earthquake. And that's not even him trying to fight. Like, so this is a bare minimum. He can shake or quake a small city as a bare minimum with his strikes or punching power. If him making love can do this. I mean, you got occasions with Brainiac that pretty much kind of give you right intent on his power. They talk about how his heat vision, his blast power could power cities, destroy space armadas. He can apparently tilt over aircraft carriers as a result of his earthquake. What the heck is his max punching power if he can tilt over by accident 100,000 tons? Stated that the Earth moved. See, here's the thing. There was this gigantic asteroid that threatens the entire human race. Like, it was gigantic. Like, it was so bad, they were talking about, like, on the news. It was like, end of the world. Oh, my gosh. Like, this could have been an exaggeration, but knowing Superman being Superman, this is probably not an exaggeration. They was talking about it was biblical. That thing was the size of Manhattan. It said if it hits, we can kiss the dinosaurs hello and kiss our own sorry butts goodbye. Like, it was like implying the end of the world type of crap. Like a surface wiping end of the world type of event. See, here's the thing. A meteor this size is already scary, but when something is actually this heavy, actually falling towards the Earth with crazy speed, that makes it even scarier. Like, imagine something as wide as Manhattan itself hurtling towards the Earth. Something that's multiple miles across. This is basically like a city falling from the sky. Like, you see this part in the orange? That's Manhattan. Like, just imagine for a second something this big falling towards the Earth. Literally, basically a city falling. You guessed it, Superman took care of it. So this basically proves he could literally shatter a city, split it in half with his punches if he wanted to. Just a few punches. Probably wasn't that many, but yeah, he vaporized it. They was calling it Armageddon. They say killer asteroid disintegrated in Earth's atmosphere. So he punched it into small pieces to where it wasn't even a threat no more. This feat pretty much proves Superman can hit harder than nuclear bombs. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, technically, because he destroyed something that was city-sized, that was moving with velocity. I want you to keep in mind on how big this meteor could be. Like, you've seen how New York looks compared to some of these rocks right here. Like, this can give you a perspective on what Superman had to break apart. With all intents and purposes, you can get an idea of how big these are compared to Manhattan. All you got to do is Google meteor that wipes out the dinosaurs. You can get an idea of what Superman had to destroy, somewhat of an idea, even though it's not the exact size. This devastating event that wiped out the dinosaurs was estimated to have enough raw power to wipe out a country, basically. The impact, that's crazy to think about. And he doesn't seem to be tired after doing such a feat. destroyed that thing and disintegrated it into a million pieces. It's like when you analyze feats like that of him being able to destroy a meteor that crazy and his body's able to withstand that impact, that feat is so many times past nuclear explosion level, it doesn't really make sense on why a nuclear bomb would do all this damage to Superman. It just doesn't make sense. He had to use like the plants to heal him up and crap after this. Maybe in this universe he has a weakness to nuclear radiation or something. Who knows? Like I ain't got nothing for this one. It just don't make sense to me. I mean, this Superman is above your average standard Kryptonian. There was these different Kryptonians here, for example. Like it was a group of them. Like their body is also extremely resilient to stuff. Like, I mean, really resilient to stuff. And they just shrug off crazy impacts. Earth 31, this Superman I've been talking about in this video, when he decides to get serious, this right here proves he's stronger than your average Kryptonian, even when it's several of them, even when they're ganging up on him. It's occasions like this that prove just because you're Kryptonian, like, yeah, he's messing up their bones. You got to remember that Superman, like in almost every universe, he always holds back. But when he stops, even if you're Kryptonian, he will jack you up. Here, even Batman says he's been holding back all these years. Yeah, one can say Superman solos. I mentioned very early in the video about the multiversal madness and stuff. This is where you can really get an understanding of his true might when you see him fight other different Superman in the multiverse. Oh boy, this different universe version of Superman. We've seen his durability to withstand punches from beings this strong, and their laser vision clash with one another. They call him the Red Sun Superman. This is the one that Earth 31 Superman is boxing it out with. You see the Red Sun Superman? Yeah, this one is really strong. This is the Frank Miller Superman, Earth 31. We see them two square off. There's implication that the power gap isn't wide. Like, you can see the punches. Both Superman can rival each other. It even looks like he got the W over this version of Superman, which would officially make every feat that I show you in this video so far light work. Just making him sleepy and drowsy like this is impressive because of his durability. Yeah, this is the Superman that he's fighting, the Red Sun Superman. He's pretty strong. This makes it even more weirder on why a nuke hurt him so bad, because not even a nuke works on this version of Superman either. He can affect beings and damage beings that are nuke-proof. That's more proof his punches are scarier than nuclear bombs. Him punching and making Red Sun Superman this drowsy is actually crazy when you think about this Red Sun Superman's durability. See, here's the thing. Brainiac, yeah, Red Sun Superman, there was like 6 mini black holes that were powering his engines that were primed to go off. Yeah, mini black holes. Like, the explosion would be so crazy that power on this level unleashed is going to wipe out everything in a 15 million mile radius. The distance between Earth and the moon isn't even 11 million miles wide. Like, that lets you know that the explosion would have even been bigger than the distance between the Earth and the moon. It would have been that wide. Explosion would have even been wider than this distance. 15 million mile wide radius. He had to withstand such an explosion that basically would have wiped out a planet easily. Oh yeah, he survived it, just chilling. And this same Red Sun Superman right here is the one that withstood all that mess. And the Superman I've been going over this entire time has punches and stuff that can damage his body, even though he's that durable and their strength and punching power can match each other. He can actually get the win on Red Sun Superman, even though he can withstand planet-shattering stuff. So it's just clear evidence that he has enough punching power to devastate the moon if he wanted to. That's a smaller planetoid than the Earth. It makes sense. He has to be at least this strong. But we all know the moon is nothing compared to the size of the Earth. And based on him fighting Red Sun Superman, planetoids or planets like the Earth, he should be able to shatter too. Based on his performance with Red Sun Superman, the same Superman that could withstand an explosion that was 15 million miles wide and it was powered by 6 mini black holes. I mean, he should be capable of Earth destruction based on that Red Sun stuff. He's literally matching them. This clear writer intent. They want him to be somewhere in the same ballpark of power, you know. I don't think you guys understand how wide a 15 million miles wide explosion from Earth would have caused to the solar system. The blast would blast all the way past Mars in the solar system. So maybe half or 1/4 the solar system would have been blown up. And the Superman this Superman is harming withstood that and survived an explosion like that. To put this in a perspective, that explosion that the Red Sun Superman survived was an explosion even bigger than larger planets like Jupiter, which are way bigger than the Earth. This would imply that the Superman I've been going over today can hit harder than planets like Jupiter and stuff, since the explosion was wide like that and he survived, or at least have the punching power to shatter a planet like Jupiter, which would make this Superman leagues and leagues past Earth shattering level. Like, he's way past Earth shattering. If we to take that seriously about that explosion radius being that big, this Superman can harm that same Superman that survived that explosion. Since his multiverse madness, like, there was literally multiple Wonder Woman having to restrain him. Like multiple Wonder Woman guys just to try to get him to calm down. And it kind of looked tired after restraining him. Like, I'm not trying to say he's on the level of Monarch. Monarch's definitely way above everybody here, but we did see this Superman take a hit, like Red Sun take a hit. Frank Miller Superman took a hit. The one I've been going over this entire video took a hit from him. Yeah, none of these characters was on the level of him. This being can definitely easily destroy planets, and that's probably nowhere near his limit. He's probably just talking like a pun here. Destroying planets, Monarch's power is definitely an oversimplification. He can definitely do more than that. Yeah, him to be able to survive a hit is still cool, I guess. This is a being that's so many times past planet-shattering levels when it comes to how hard his hits are. Doesn't have as many flashy feats as the main Superman we know and love, but what do you think? Do you think there's a possibility he has the strength to move planets like the other ones and such? I mean, based on his punching power and the beings he can harm with his punches, I don't see why he wouldn't. Like, it's one of them situations we haven't seen him do it, so I guess we just can't assume he can. But it's also one of them situations where if somebody wanted to argue he could lift a planet, I wouldn't really argue too much against you based on the fact it's pretty much confirmed he could destroy the planet with his punches anyway, even though punches is different than lifting. I wouldn't really doubt it if somebody argued and said he could lift the Earth too, though. But do you respect him? Before I get going, everybody, I got to give a quick thanks to the donators. It helps out a lot. Respect this version of Superman, Earth 31. Not the strongest, but still pretty strong. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.